And we welcome you back courtside here in San Bernardino, California, the Pierce Sports Center for our second match of the day on day 2 of our second NVA event of the 2022 season. And it is a family reunion of sorts, as this will be the unbeaten New Jersey Team Freedom taking on the Chicago Untouchables. Freedom is 2-0 on the year. The Untouchables having dropped 2 matches in 5 sets each time out. They are 0-2 on the year. He's Coach Matt Prosser. I'm Ira Thor, and we thank you for joining us for this one, as both teams will play for the first time this weekend. They were both off yesterday and came in late last night. So, for these teams, there is so much familiarity. Not only is there a number of players on both rosters that played for the other team a year ago and were picked up in free agency this year, they practice together because so many of the Untouchable players are Pennsylvania-based, that it just made more sense for them to train outside of Philadelphia with Freedom.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a very interesting dynamic to see how these two teams kind of, interact with each other on the court here in this match, but I think it'll be highly competitive, and would not be surprised to see this match go 4 or 5 sets.
Certainly, this is a match with a lot of personalities, we can say, on both sides, and there'll probably be some talking back and forth because they know each other so well. They know what gets under each other's skins. And it's a competitive match because the Untouchables have a lot to play for right now. They don't want to fall to 0-3 on the year. Meanwhile, one of their former stars, Ian Kapp, is coming off one of the best offensive performances in the history of the NVA in a victory against the Stunners in our first event of the year back in early April. 25 kills.
Yeah, Ian Kapp, one of the best outside hitters in the NVA. We've been saying it for several years now. Strong server from the inline, puts pressure on the opponent, and really does a nice job navigating his offensive attacks around the opponent's block. And he'll need to do more of that today for his team.
Take a look who's out there for both programs today. For Team Freedom, New Jersey. So many options. They are coached by Carlo Edra. And they will send out a lineup of Ian Kapp, number 4, one of the outside hitters, and Tim Ferreter will be the other outside. He wears number 7. In the middle today will be Dr. Doug Zema. He's wearing number 6. We joined in the middle by Big Matt Seifert, number 12, who makes his return this weekend. He did not play in the first event of the year. Matt Elias, who didn't play in the first event either, he will set today for Freedom. Joe Norman will be on the right side. Norman, certainly one of the top right sides in the NVA, and making his libero season debut will be John Cunningham, wearing number 15 for the team in blue. Meanwhile, for the Untouchables, and you got to love these new uniforms for Chicago, they will see a lineup that includes Mikhail Zebra-Hoyt in the middle, wearing number 11. Jacob Ostema's the other middle, wearing number 14. Tim Callahan's one of the outsides at number 18. He'll be joined on the outside, actually, and not getting the start today was Will Ragland, surprisingly. They're going to go instead with Austin Neese, number 21 on the outside. And Danny Pereshkovov, who's had some big contributions. The 6'6" right side wears number 99. Noah Richetti will set. He's number 20. And the libero will be Jordan Robinson, number 16, as we are set to get underway as Matt Elias serves it away for undefeated New Jersey. And Pereshkovov misses his first attack wide.
Well, Chicago out of system right from the get-go. That pass not where it needed to be, and the attack contact not resulting in some top spin, so that ball goes out of bounds.
So New Jersey with the early 1-0 lead. Elias didn't play the first event of the year, so Ryan Kenny got the start. He's not with them on the trip this weekend. And a substitution, a side out, and Jacob Ostema, who didn't play for Chicago the first event of the year. You're seeing a number of players, not just on these two teams, but throughout the league, just because of the overlap with the international season and also the collegiate season so many of these guys coach, that this first of 2 May events is their season debut, as that is put away by Norman.
Joe Norman getting the first offensive opportunity, that time for Team Freedom. Expect to see a lot of sets going to number 16 in the dark blue, as he will be relied upon quite heavily for his offensive efforts today.
Norman was one of 3 players in double-figure kills for Freedom in the victory against the Stunners back on April 10th. 25 kills in that match for Ian Kapp, and then Ferreter and Norman combined for 25 together. So 50 kills just for those 3 players, with 7 more than the Stunners had in that match. And that's a big reason why New Jersey pulled off what some probably looked at as an upset. However, keep in mind, the Stunners were not at full strength, as they had 3 of their starters that were still overseas at that time.
Yeah, and another thing to note is the libero for Freedom, number 15 in white, John Cunningham, one of the better liberos in the league. So let's see how he passes here, some of this Chicago pressure from the inline.
That's a big-time smash there by Danny Pereshkovov. And getting the chance to serve here, Noah Richetti. Played at Sacred Heart University. He's a native of Barrington, Illinois. He's just 25 years old. Swing there by Ferreter. kept in play. Pereshkabov with another cross-court smash.
You're really seeing some nice transition from both sides. The ball does not get terminally killed on that first attempt. Nice transition work. Offense from the right side there for the Untouchables.
And that clips the tape. Comes over on one. And Nice couldn't terminate it. Wow, lucky for Freedom there. And they'll have a chance to win a broken point. That's covered by Cap. This is all sorts of fits here for Team Freedom, but the Untouchables doing nothing to help themselves. Elias goes back to Norman, and he bombs it down the line to end what was not the prettiest of plays.
A bit unconventional from both sides, but for New Jersey Freedom, fortunately they have Joe Norman on the right, and he's able to basically clean it up, take out that trash, and score the point.
So here is Seifert to serve. And you already hear the trash talking. He lands an ace in the back corner. Will Ragland trying to rag on Matt Seifert, and he calmly deposits an ace in the back corner. And New Jersey leads 5-3. Seifert trying to block out the noise. They go to Pereshkabov. Kept alive there by New Jersey. Cap swings away, and he gets Robinson. Big swing by Cap.
What a play. First of all, the Gator. Middle back defensive effort from Matthew Seifert. And then Ian Cap attacking that ball from way off the net to score the point.
Seifert will continue to serve here. Robinson, good pass in a tough spot, and that one will result in a touch and a side out for Chicago. Callahan making his debut this weekend with Chicago with the kill. So very specific, by the way, on the roster with Callahan's height. You know, usually people are listed at 6'2", 6'3", 6'4". Callahan is listed at 6'2" and 1/4 inches. Very important that we point that out.
It is very important that you add that 1/4 inch there. Can make a huge difference sometimes.
I'm 6 foot 1/4 inch.
Technically 6'6" and 3/4, but I just round up.
Can I round that up?
Sure you can.
Okay, I'm now 6'1".
Big fan of rounding up.
Look at that, folks. As they push it outside, and that's an answer by Callahan. That extra 1/4 inch made all the difference. So side out here, Zebra Hoyt, who was part of this Freedom squad a year ago and a big part of their playoff push, now playing for Chicago. And that is put down by Dr. Doug. You know, also for Team Freedom, even though he's not on the floor today, Thomas Burrell, who right now is the top-rated blocker in the NVA, played for Chicago last year. As did the 7-footer Paul Bolanczyk. And another ace for New Jersey. And of course, when Ferreter gets involved, usually you see it out of your other outside, Ian Cap. When Ferreter gets involved with the ace game, you know things are clicking on all cylinders now. Former Stevens standout back in his collegiate days. And there's an answer for Chicago.
I like Chicago going through the middle here. That's number 14's second kill of the game. Ostema doing a nice job being up early and available to get the opportunity to score.
Ostema is one of the youngest players in the NVA, born in 2000. He's still just 21 years old. And Cap is able to drop that in front of Nice. Or Ricchetti, I should say. No, it was Nice. I was right the first time. Never doubt yourself, Matt.
Never.
And here's Dr. Doug to serve. Dug up by New Jersey. Swinging away is Norman. That won't come back.
Oh, great start for Team Freedom and Joe Norman. Doing some terminal right side attacking, inside out and transition so far.
So an 11-6 lead for Freedom. Backside here to Pereshkovov. Waiting for that was Ferreter. Here's Cap with the roll. The Untouchables on two. Sneaky, sneaky. Noah Richetti.
Richetti able to throw that one down with his left hand, especially in transition. A great opportunity for his setter to score. Any young setters out there watching this match should take note of that.
As left short. So here's Matt Elias. Plays collegiate volleyball at Juniata, which back then was a top 2 or 3 ranked team in Division III, routinely competing for national championships. Substitution here for the Untouchables. And here is Peter Namiatko, who I am extremely familiar with. Played his collegiate volleyball at NJIT, where I am their play-by-play announcer and have been for many, many years.
You do a great job there, Ira, just so you know.
Appreciate
that. I watched
Matt.
some of your matches. I watched your pregame show. Well done, sir.
I appreciate that. Gotta earn a paycheck in the off season. We have a lot of fun out there on the East Coast, and it's nice to see that the sport is growing at the Division I level on the East Coast. It's primarily been a sport that's prospered out here, and for 40-something years. And Seifert, oh man, buries that one. Seifert did that for fun when he was playing at Penn State. Chicago's going to call a timeout here, down 14-8. And of course, NJIT, where Peter Namiatko played, and Matt Seifert, Penn State Nittany Lions, part of the EIVA, which has been the longest men's volleyball conference on the East Coast. But you're starting to see some growth with some of the smaller D1s. The Northeast Conference just announced last year that they are going to be having men's volleyball be their 25th championship sport. So Long Island University has started a program which is almost entirely based on collegiate players from California, ironically. They go all the way across the country to play out on Long
Island University
Island.
had a very busy travel season as they went out to Hawaii for several matches. They played at Long Beach State for, I think, 1 or 2 matches. So they got some serious frequent flyer miles.
I think they
in
just
the
wanted an
2022
excuse
season.
to go out to Hawaii. But they started a program. Fairleigh Dickinson started the program. There's a couple new ones in the New York City area, St. Francis, Brooklyn, in the last couple years. So sports growing on the D1 level. Scholarships out east. One of those players on both teams from this part of the country. As has powered into the net. Ian Cap, I'll tell you what, even when he misses impressively.
Ian Cap definitely doesn't hold back. That one was pretty ferocious. Hammered that ball. Unfortunately, the net got in the way.
And here is Richetti to serve. Big high pass for Freedom as Ferreter swings away and draws Zebra into the net. And I thought the ball was coming our way. Saved by the signage. I was ready to make the play. I had to protect the equipment.
Team player, Ira. Always watching out for the team.
I just care about the laptop. This is not an NVA sponsored laptop. This is an out of Ira's pocket laptop. As that is blocked back. Zebra Hoyt gets involved for the first time as he snakes it through for the kill. Actually a MacBook, so Oh, this thing, if it breaks, those parts are expensive. And Nice leaves it short. Austin Nice, who played his collegiate volleyball at IPFW. Here's Joe Norman to serve. And that's going to be a kill for Chicago. And it's Tim Callahan getting involved again.
Yeah, Tim Callahan with a nice cross-court winner. Freedom player into the net that time. So the point being awarded to Chicago, and now Hoyt back to serve. Chicago down by 5.
And there's a quick answer for Dr. Doug.
Now you keep calling him Dr. Doug. Ira, can you explain a little bit on that nickname?
He's a chiropractor. He's got his chiropractic degree. I believe it's chiropractic. And, well, didn't have to go to med school for 9 years, but he still gets to be called doctor. And he might need a surgeon to recover from that. Oh, Danny Pereshkovov buries it in the earth. Pereshkovov, another player who wasn't at a major school, played for Arcadia University outside Philadelphia, but they're a very strong Division III program because, again, there's not a ton, and this is where I really want to see the growth of the sport in the United States collegiately. There's not a ton of Division I scholarship offers, as Ian Kapp, who himself was a smaller school collegiate player, played at Kane University. Not a ton of scholarship opportunities, so they will play at some of the more academic-based schools like the Arcadias and I don't know.
Well, you got to think
Kane's
first,
not exactly Harvard.
Student athlete first, right? So
100%.
The education, it's all about the education, of course. So if you don't get to have the opportunity to go to a D1 school on a scholarship, there's plenty of other programs now in the country that, does offer those opportunities to be a student athlete as well.
And have a well-rounded experience. There's well over now 125 Division III programs. So you're starting to see so many of the great high school players moving on and ultimately playing at this level or in Europe is their goal, such as a Matt Seifert who just put away another kill.
Yeah, Freedom taking advantage of Matthew Seifert through the middle. He's 6'10". You got that size on your court, you got to be able to use it.
Robinson with a good pass. And Nice able to tool the block. Joe Norman at 6'9". That is the tallest combination of players on the court in a starting role in the NVA. Norman 6'9", Seifert 6'10", together. Almost impossible to hit around, but sometimes you can get the tool you're looking for, which is what Chicago did. They still trail, however. Seifert swinging away, and the chase down won't work. Seifert with another winner, and the Team Freedom first to 20. They lead by 6.
Perfect passing from the back row of Freedom, giving their team the opportunity to run their offense through the middle that time.
Here's Ian Kapp, left it short. Kapp, who just completed his collegiate career last year, 2021. So he also one of the younger players out there on the court. As Norman able to get the kill, drawing Nice into the net. I've always thought that Ian Kapp is incredibly underrated. Obviously, he doesn't have the imposing size of some guys, but his toolbox is full.
It certainly is, and it's a big toolbox.
His skill set of what he's capable of doing is why he's probably one of the players with the biggest upside in the NVA. As that time Seifert missed just long, he was looking for that back corner again.
Ian Kapp, a very active grass volleyball player as well. In case you're wondering where he got that sweet farmer tan from on his arms. because he plays a lot of outdoor grass volleyball.
You can't really play beach in our part of the country on the East Coast until probably right right now. So, if you want to play outdoors, you got to do it on the grass.
Good. Volleyball's volleyball. It doesn't matter what surface you're playing it on.
Truly, I actually always preferred grass over beach because I got a spring in my step trying to jump off the grass.
Grew up playing grass volleyball myself.
You're 6'7", you don't even have to jump. Some of us need
That's not true.
Some of us all need all the help we can get. Cap from the back, gets it to go. Ian Cap, who was a second-team All-American in his senior year and a multiple-time All-American throughout his career, and he just continues to get better and better. Norman taking his time. He leaves it short. Still a 6-point lead, 23-17. Again, Cap, by the way, is only listed at 6 foot tall, but would never know. Here's Zebra Hoyt. Member of the Trinidad and Tobago national team in the Caribbean. Norman, too long. And I believe New Jersey is going to use their first challenge, as Norman believed that there was a touch. So head coach Carlo Edra and team owner Justin Beaumont, who himself has not had the best track record in terms of challenge success.
They seem pretty certain that there was a touch on this one. I personally didn't see it.
I didn't see it either, but again, something I talked about with Nick England in our last match, which, if you missed it, our first match today saw a pretty quality win for the Dallas Tornadoes as they dismantled the Inland Empire Matadors in 3 sets and wasn't particularly close in the final 2. But something that Nick talked about in that match was these guys are professionals. They obviously know their arm swings. They know what the ball sounds like. And just even if you don't see it, you can hear the touches sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. However, a referee is not allowed to make a touch call on a sound. They have to actually visibly see the touch contact made in order to call it. I learned that when I had a couple of choice conversations with the referees over my career, but now with the inclusion of video replay, we're able to get the correct call sorted out, and we can get back to action.
Video replay also doesn't use sound.
They don't need to. It's a video visual replay. No microphones on our video replay challenge system cameras here.
Can we get a microphone on Justin Beaumont there on the sideline? There you see in the blue shirt is the, I don't know what those are. Those are sweat shorts he's wearing today. Very stylish, Mr. Beaumont.
A very casually dressed head
there you
coach.
see, look at that camera work. You can see the touch, the pinky moves, and it seems pretty obvious that Team Freedom will get this call. That's great work by our camera crew zooming in and showing you the replay. Well done, fellas. So it has been confirmed that the point will go to Joe Norman and company. Norman gets the kill. And the challenge is successful.
Now, one of those situations where the blocker may have just admitted to the touch and therefore avoided that whole stoppage of play.
But this is much more fun.
I think watching volleyball is more fun than watching 20 or 30
I would
stand around
agree
talking
with that.
about watching a video replay.
But this is the game within the game. A little drama out there, especially between these two teams, is certainly
This is true.
makes it the story a better storyline.
This is true.
As I've said in our pregame show today, the Freedom Untouchable matchup I kind of compared to a dysfunctional family barbecue.
And that is a good analogy comparison for sure.
Or did I say picnic? I can't remember.
I think you said both, actually.
Yeah, either way.
Picnic with volleyball that then turns ugly because there's a lot of arguing.
I mean, you do often play volleyball at a family picnic. This is a little bit higher level than you would normally see at the Smith family barbecue. That's going to come over on one. Chance for freedom to draw closer to the first set. And I don't think there was a touch that time as Zema misses it wide. And 24-18, set point number 2. This will be Danny Pereshkovov. And Ian Cap, he's blocked back. Oh, that's going to carry him off of the ceiling. Read well by Ricchetti. And a finish by Callahan. Guns a-blazing.
Callahan with a little swagger after that swing. Double gun pointing to the gun show as that ball fell.
Now he's got a carry permit for that one. Set point number 3. We'll see if Pereshkovov can hold him off. Joe Norman down the line. Robinson gets the dig, but Chicago's into the net. And after a great dig from Robinson, it won't matter as New Jersey decisively takes game 1, 25-19. They lead 1-0. Teams will change sides. We'll take a break. Come back for set number 2 here in San Bernardino. And we're back here courtside where New Jersey Team Freedom leads 1-0, a 25-19 win, where they were infinitely impressive in that opening set. If there's any changes out there for New Jersey, and it looks like they are going to stay consistent. You know what, why make a change? Because I think that they were clicking on all cylinders. I didn't see too many mistakes out of New Jersey, with the exception of that one scrappy play that they won with the Norman kill down the line where everything was breaking apart. For Chicago, I gotta say that I think Jordan Robinson's done a nice job controlling the back line as a libero, but they gotta feed Pereshkov more.
They do. It was a pretty well-rounded game from Freedom for the Untouchables. They've got to hit a little bit stronger, so let's see if they can rebound here and respond in game number 2.
As Cap misses long. Ian Cap had a very useful first set where he had 4 kills and hit at a 57% clip, but it was the Joe Norman show. Unreal numbers. 8 kills in 9 swings, 89%. To hit that at the collegiate level would be staggering. Professionally, oh my God. And that's going to be another kill for Norman. Keep ringing his bell. By the way, look at the kill discrepancy between Freedom and the Untouchables in the first set. 18 for New Jersey, just 9 for Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago really struggling to find their offensive prowess through set number 1 that time.
They go to Pereshkov, and you see him flex. A lot of emotion from Danny. Here is Nice. Cunningham with the textbook pass, and Cap goes down the line. He missed it wide, but it won't matter because Chicago was drawn into the net. Another blocking error. And that was certainly a free point given to New Jersey because that ball was not in play. Tim Hallahan is claiming it was just a hair in his arm that caught the net. Fun listening to the banter, that is for sure, as Cap can't believe he didn't get the friendly bounce. Here you see Austin Nice, or at least did for a second, as Zebra Hoyt will serve. And Seifert drops the bomb. Big Matt Seifert will drop back to serve. And that's the answer from Callahan.
Well, that's definitely not the way that Chicago wanted to start. Hitting error down the line, trying to avoid Joe Norman's block, which I can't blame him. I mean, Joe Norman's big 6'9" blocker, takes up a lot of space. Aim high for the hands and try not to just swing around the block and go out of bounds.
Serve here for Seifert. 4-3 lead for New Jersey. And Callahan this time does get it. So we'll take a look at Danny Pereshkov. He's originally from Russia. 26 years old. And Zema, great set from Elias, sets that up. And now they'll hand it to Joe Norman. Norman won a national championship at SUNY New Paltz in upstate New York. And he lands an ace here to add to his already impressive kill totals. And the New Jersey lead is 2 now, 6-4. Toss of Norman. And nearly another raise, but this is brought back by Chicago. Chance for New Jersey to run something from the back row, Cap. And covered well by Seifert. Norman sends it deep. Robinson is waiting for it. And that clips the antenna. Another attack error for Callahan. Norman needs a moment to tie the laces, and Justin Beaumont asked the official if it would be appropriate for Velcro to be an official sponsor of the NVA. That would help alleviate the problem. I don't know, Justin. I think you might be onto something. Give Joe Norman some Velcro sneakers.
I don't know if Velcro can hold up to the velocity that some of these guys play this sport at.
That's a fair assessment, my friend. However, I think with technology now, they might find an answer for that. Free ball over on one. Can New Jersey counter? Seifert finds the slot. Wow, that was a well-defended play by Chicago, and Seifert, and I should say Ferreter, still was able to find a hole there as Tim Ferreter with another kill.
Ferreter taking advantage of the opportunity and delivering that ball for a kill, and Chicago Untouchables have to use up a very early timeout here at 8-4.
And for Chicago right now, I mean, they have a lot of talent on that bench, but I think Team Freedom is slowly showing that, hey, we might have to insert their name as a potential championship contender this year. I still don't think that they're at the level of a Tyrant squad or a Rambler squad. I still think those are the two best teams in the league right now. But I think you can put Freedom in the stunner-stinger category right now in terms of intriguing teams that you're going to have to look at the rest of this year.
Absolutely. They're really showing their prowess and how sort of the sky's the limit. They can play some good quality volleyball, still have some really solid reserves, and they need to be playing this type of volleyball all season long to really propel themselves into the championship weekend.
As Norman will continue to serve. Better pass by Nice. He has to tip this one over. Well covered there by Ferreter, and it's blocked back. Ferreter, can he run it down? He does. And then he hustles back into place and gets a ball in the knees for his troubles. Now Chicago had a chance there on a broken play, and they capitalized and got the crucial side out. And it gets me thinking as we were talking about the unofficial power rankings, at least, from my mind at this point. As Seifert able to hit it off the high hands. Right now, in my mind, I would have, if I'm doing the league rankings, and maybe this is something we need to do going forward, the broadcast team unofficial rankings, but I have Tyrants number 1 and the Ramblers a 1A at this point. And then obviously Freedom, Stingers, and Stunners in that next category. I think that third level right now, after what I saw in the first match today, clearly you would think coming into the year that Southern Exposure would be in that next caliber of teams. But I think the Dallas Tornadoes have a serious argument to be in that equation as well.
Yeah, they had a very strong showing this morning in that 3-0 sweep over the Matadors. Teams getting into full form here with all their players coming back from overseas and other commitments. It's going to be a very interesting season here in the NBA.
First block of the match for Chicago is Hoyt teaming up with Rachetti. That's a important side out here for Chicago because they're able to nip this lead to 2 as they'll hand the ball to Astema. And Zema gets blocked back. Good job by Zema looking where Elias, the setter, was so he didn't trample him to death. That's blocked back by New Jersey and can't be saved by Zebra off the net. So credit the block for Zema. And Doug will serve. Turned out to be a much more interesting match than I originally envisioned, just because Not only is New Jersey earning all of its points, Chicago, you're kind of seeing them problem solve on the fly in this one. Oh, and Robinson gets nailed on the back as Ian Cap swings at an incredible angle there.
That's an infinite problem for the libero, for the Untouchables, trying to figure out how to slow down that Freedom offense.
Robinson was camped out actually at the 10-foot line, and Cap still on that cross-court angle was able to nearly decapitate him. Ferreter passes this one up. Here's Norman with a disgusting ball handling error. Sorry, Joe. I know you'll probably watch this back on replay, but I think you'll agree with me. That was nasty. There's some phlegm on that.
Sorry, Joe, as well, but I think my 8-year-old son could have set better than that one.
Well, I mean, he's got you training him, and now you're officially a professional coach, so. That would cost a lot of money in the real world. As Seifert, Robinson with one arm able to keep it alive, and then free balled over and nobody home. Slipped it right through the bathroom window. As Callahan all smiles. Callahan was like a burglar on that one. Norman says, I want redemption, as he swings away, and that forces Chicago again another net infraction. And there's a kill for Chicago as Austin Neese, who's been kind of quiet, gets involved in the offense.
Neese with a strong right side attack there, going off the Cap block and into the crowd.
And one-on-one, Zebra shows his stripes.
Credit to the Untouchables taking that early timeout at 8-4. They're now back within 1. 11 serving 12 here in set number 2, Ira.
So Chicago hanging tough here. Again, every match they've played so far this year, the first 2 have all gone the distance, 5 sets. That won't help as that's into the net. So Ian Cap serve here. Cap finished his career. He was primarily, by the way, a setter in college. And he misses long here. But at this level, he's last year kind of split time between setting and attacking roles, but finished his collegiate career. His first 3 years was primarily a setter before kind of splitting duty his senior year, but he finished his collegiate career with 2,300 assists. Joe Norman continues to control this match.
I like to call Joe Norman the silent assassin. He's not a very emotional player, but effective. Very quiet on the floor, but does a great job offensively and blocking. 6'9", so he carries a big load of responsibility for Team Freedom.
Good line drive served by Norman. Reach out and stuff someone. Zema, Norman, and they team up with Ferreter to complete the triple play. Biggest block of the match so far, and that helps Freedom push the lead to 3 at 15-12. Here's Seifert. And another block. This time it's Ferreter and Zema.
Back-to-back blocks for Freedom.
And Chicago's going to use their second timeout of the set. They find themselves in a 4-point hole when they were right on the verge of tying this matchup.
All that work right out the window. Did such a good job getting themselves back into it after their first timeout, and now they just find themselves, like you said, back to that 4-point deficit.
Justin Beaumont came over to have a conversation with our R2 for this match. Wade Du Bois. Is there immediate timeout here? No, that's because Chicago had to burn an early timeout. And now they've already used their second, because this is it for Chicago. If New Jersey keeps playing at this level, especially with Norman right now absolutely in control, Chicago's going to get swept today.
Yeah, tense moments for Chicago. They got to find something special here to get themselves back in and find the energy to try to keep climbing up that mountain now, that 4-point deficit once again, to at least tie this game up, or they will be finding themselves in a 2-0 deficit here in this match.
So Seifert will continue to serve, and this time gets frozen on the timeout by Chicago. As good as Norman's been today, Matt Elias has done an incredible job running this Freedom offense as the team setter. Don't say his name nearly enough, but you can see just how he sets perfect balls. Unfortunately, that time Norman clipped just the inside part of the antenna. Chicago head coach Andrew Lee. For a second, thought that was going over to Team Freedom, was going to challenge it, but realized, hey, that's our point. Elias again. This time Norman buries it in the earth.
Big swing that time from Joe Norman to repeat and delete that previous error, but credit to Matt Elias, the setter, to go right back to his big opposite hitter and get that confidence going back on the tracks that it needs to be on.
Norman with another big serve, and dumped on two by Ricchetti. Smart play by the Chicago setter.
Good question from Coach Beaumont, just asking the down ref if he could challenge that the ball hit the net, when you cannot actually challenge that.
Zema's blocked back. Elias goes to Ferrer this time. Chicago was ready for that one. Third chance, now it's Norman, and he snakes it through. And Austin Neese can't believe it. He thought he had a read on it. (18-15) New Jersey, and here is Tim Ferreter.
That 3-point advantage is just such a strong position to be in. Very difficult to come back from anything more than two. That service error definitely does help the Untouchables' efforts.
Jacob Estema played collegiately at Trinity Christian College in Illinois. Norman tooling the block. He gets another. And Joe Norman in this match, I mean, it's now 14 kills. He's got a block. He's got an ace. There's not even a question as who's been the most dominant player out here. But in terms of man of the match, I don't think it's cut and dry right now, because I think Matt Elias deserves a lot of credit. I'm going to keep saying it because I'm just absolutely impressed with the offense he's running, and that is wide. Chicago with another error, and it's a 4-point lead for Team Freedom. They're the first to 20.
Yeah, I think you make a very valid point, Ira. Matt Elias doing a great job setting Team Freedom at the moment to a good hitting percentage and a solid offense.
And Zebra definitely got the touch there, so a side out for the Untouchables. Here is the other setter in this match, is Noah Ricchetti. Incap elevates and gets stuffed by Zebra and Pereshkovov.
That is a big stuff down from the Untouchables. One they hadn't gotten in a while, and a very much needed blocking defense point for them.
That will clip off the HVAC, and fortunately for Chicago, it goes their way as Pereshkovov able to slug it into the back corner. Wow. He just caught that exhaust opening the right way, caught it flush, because if it hits one of the lips up there, and we can't obviously see it on the camera, that would have taken a misdirection, and Chicago would be in a very difficult situation because now they've been able to score 3 in a row, now 4 in a row to tie it at 20-20. The ball sometimes will bounce your way, and New Jersey has to call timeout.
Momentum clearly on the side of the Chicago Untouchables. You can see them in their timeout huddle over there. I think possibly Freedom should have taken this timeout 1 to 2 points previously, just to try to calm the storm a little bit and maybe keep that momentum a little bit more on their side. But easy to, nitpick here from the broadcast booth. Ira, what do you think?
Well, I think at the time would have called it would have been after the ball off of the ceiling, because that's where I thought that Chicago started gaining the momentum.
Definitely agree with you. We'll have a discussion with Coach Beaumont after the match and make sure he knows next time to call that timeout a little bit earlier.
Coach Beaumont and also Coach Carlo Edra, who is making his debut this season, or at this point this season. He coached the team, of course, last year and has been Freedom coach for years, but he missed the first event of the year because his day job is as a collegiate head coach, and his team was making a postseason run. They lost. He coaches New Jersey City University's Gothic Knights. After Robinson couldn't handle that one from Joe Norman, he missed it because, well, good reason. His team was playing in the Skyline Conference Championship match. Also lost a 5-set heartbreaker to St. Joseph's, Long Island.
The way the ball bounces sometimes.
St. Joe's went on a little bit of a postseason run themselves. Carthage University won that championship, the D3 championship.
Speaking of postseason runs, Ira.
Big match tonight.
Huge match tonight. My former program and good friends over at Long Beach State playing in the NCAA championship match tonight at 5 p.m. from Pauley Pavilion.
Taking on Hawaii. Hawaii is certainly earned their way to the final as they took down one of the big surprises of the year in Ball State. The Cardinals had a great year. I think everybody expected Long Beach to certainly be in the final this year. Norman off the high hands for another big point. 21-20 New Jersey, now 22-20. My original preseason pick was Penn State because I thought they were the deepest all-around team, and then he got upset in the EIVA semifinals and didn't get an at-large bid to the big dance.
Yeah, it was unfortunate they didn't because they were very good. I did have the pleasure of calling Penn State versus Long Beach State at the Pyramid, where Penn State did win, giving Long Beach State their first loss of the season, and they were a very well-rounded program. Coach Mark Pavlik had a solid roster and some good efforts. Brett Wildman was a real strong player for them this season.
And that's an ace for New Jersey. I'm a huge fan of Coach Pavlik, and it's a pleasure to be able to talk to him a number of times a year where I call matches involving his team. And Freedom is going to make the change. So here we have it. Cap is out, and into the match is the 7-footer Paul Bolanzik. So Paul at 7 foot, Matt Seifert at 6'10", Joe Norman at 6'9". Ladies and gentlemen, this is the debut of the Great Wall of New Jersey as Team Freedom wins 25-20, and they lead 2-0. Well, New Jersey right now playing, even when their backs were against the wall late here in Game 2, like a team certainly on a mission to do more this year. Last year, a bit of a disappointment. Game 3 will be coming up. Come back. We'll see how this one concludes. Back here courtside in San Bernardino, California. Pierce Sports Center is our destination. He's Coach Matt Prosser. His Long Beach State squad playing for our national championship tonight. He's not the coach there, but he is a Hall of Famer. As you know, we like to classify you as a two-time All-American, but now that you are the head coach of the OC Stunners, you will be Coach Matt Prosser on this broadcast the remainder of the year until you retire from and hang the whistle up. But he's Matt, I'm Ira Thor, and we thank you for joining us on a Saturday afternoon, Mother's Day weekend across the United States. And of course, Matt and I both have children, and that means we have wives who are great mothers, and we wish all the moms out there a happy Mother's Day weekend. Obviously, we will miss Mother's Day by being here with you in California to tell you the stories of the NVA this weekend, but we wish all the moms out there who are watching a happy Mother's Day weekend, and thanks for all that you do. As New Jersey leads this match 2-0, and they get caught napping on the first play as it's poked into the back line by Pereshkovov, who will serve here for Chicago. The Untouchables have not made any changes. And quite frankly, Chicago didn't really need to. I thought the lineup they had out there on the court, maybe with the exception of Ragland, who can be a bit of an offensive spark plug, but also can be erratic at the same time.
Yeah.
I don't think really a real need to change anything right now if you're Chicago.
No, I mean, it's not that the guys on the Chicago side are playing that bad. It's just that they're having a hard time negotiating the block of the New Jersey Freedom and what they're posing to do in front of them.
Pereshkovov's able to bring this back, and it'll be a free ball here for Chicago. Can the Freedom capitalize? Norman, this is run down by Nice. And Ricchetti sends it over. Another free ball chance. And Seifert, oh, that's dug up by Coach Robinson. And the fourth chance goes to Seifert. And Seifert delivers yet another kill. The 33rd for New Jersey versus just 16 for the Untouchables.
And that's something that the Untouchables have to be able to figure out and keep the ball on their side of the court so they can get a swing in transition. They gave a free ball back and then 2 overpasses. The third time was a charm for Freedom.
Robinson will pop this up nice and high, but the attack left short by Callahan.
Callahan's got to go up high and attack that ball at a higher point. Try to drive it into the hands of the block and out of bounds and not just drop the elbow to roll it into the net like that.
As Cap, tough serve, Robinson has to send it over on one. Oh, what a backside in Norman. Oh, a misfire. It lands in Burbank. Only the third error for Norman on 22 swings. He has 16 kills. He was hitting at a 76% clip through 2 sets. Good pass there by Cunningham on a tough serve. Ferreter got a touch. Well, they're saying no. I saw you touch. I would definitely challenge that if I'm New Jersey. Saw the ball change direction. And they will review it. So those touches are a little difficult sometimes to catch from the far side of the net. You know, pretty good officiating crew here in this one. Steven Shepard is in the R1 spot. Wade Du Bois is our R2. Laura Garbarino is the line judge on the current Chicago side of the court. And got to give everybody love here. So Scott Thompson. Actually, I take it back. Ty Boyd. Ty Boyd is our other line judge on New Jersey's side of the court. So they'll take a look at this one. We will see if our hardworking crew is able to zoom in on the TV monitor here courtside once they start reviewing so you can see the review live. I think that would be a good way to handle that. Here you see the Chicago Untouchables. Big guy in the middle. And a big addition to their team so far today, and that is Jacob Estema, the young middle out of Orland Park, Illinois, wearing number 14. Wish we could mic up Will Ragland and Justin Beaumont right now because they are having a conversation about digits. And you see Joe Norman in the Freedom headband or bandana, red, white, and blue, representing America on his head. There you see, oh, now we are looking, let's take a look. Previous frame. As Justin Beaumont got in the way of our view, but looked like a touch to me. Paul Bolanczyk standing there, reviewing it himself. Here you see the 7-footer, and to his right is Carlo Edra, the head coach, in flip-flops. Nice attire. They played a huge practical joke on Carlo Edra, by the way, when he checked into the hotel last night. He missed the first event of the year, as we mentioned, because he was coaching in the championship. I'll tell you after this review, the end of the story. Oh, saying no touch. I was wrong. Well, I'm usually wrong, so don't listen to me. I'm not an official for a reason, and I guess optical illusions happen sometimes. Point Chicago as they tied at 3-3. So to finish the story, when Carlo checked into the hotel because he had not been in the new team hotel, he asked the front desk staff if this was the hotel where all the volleyball players were playing, and they played dumb. The front staff was like, sorry, we haven't seen anybody who looks like a volleyball player here at all this week. Are you sure you're in the right place? And both front desk staff members were playing the same joke and had Carlo actually believing he was in the wrong spot.
I guess I'm a little concerned on what the stereotypical volleyball player looks like based on that practical joke.
Well, you would think people who are over, maybe 6'2", walking around would give you a clue that these are, I don't know, probably not ping pong players.
True. Very valid.
It's a bad stereotype of ping pong players, though. As that sails wide. Finally, the front desk staff finally broke their straight faces and admitted, yes, this is the hotel. You are in the right place, Coach Edra, and gave him his key. And he was in a terrible mood before that because his flight had been delayed, I think, 2 or 3 hours, so he really was desperately in need of sleep, and then he started cracking up laughing, and he thanked them for kind of changing his mood on what had been a long Friday. We need more hotel staff to play practical jokes. As that is too long by Ferreter. And not the type of practical joke like, having you check into a room with a bed with no sheets or towels.
Yeah, nobody wants that.
Nobody wants that. So that one goes long. Chicago ties it at 5-5, and here is young Jacob Stema. As Norman plants it. But as we said, Jacob Stema born in July 2000. It is just insane to me that we have now professional athletes born this century. But we've seen it in the NBA, a couple of their top picks, now 18, 19 years old, born in 01 or 02, but still hard to process.
Oh.
As Norman murders his teammate.
Oh, that was Joe Norman just hit the referee stand.
Oh, that was the referee stand. Oh, I thought it was Matt Elias who paid for that one. I'm looking right into a camera. Oh, well, that won't hurt as much then. As long as Steven Shepard's nice and safe. Oh my God, Doug Zema surgically inserting that in the court.
No adjustments needed on that one, Ira. That was an absolute hammer.
Sweet, so Jordan Norman really missed it that wide that he hit the referee stand.
This is true.
And that one carries Richetti into the net. He's trying to send the back set to Nice. And nothing working right now for Chicago on these bounces. Got to get a better first pass if they're going to. New Jersey just gives them the point, but Ricchetti has not had the best serve receptions to work with in this one, Matt. I think he's done as good of a job as you can ask with what he's been given. They're going to make a substitution here, and here is the very vocal Will Ragland and his famous mustache into the match. Robinson able to pop this up after the dig by Ricchetti, and Nice able to finish it up with a winner. Side out Chicago 8-8. Chicago has, by the way, the meanest mustache game in the business now with their libero Jordan Robinson. And now Will Ragland on the court. We'll have to get some close-ups next time we have a timeout. And that is blocked back. Zebra and Pereshkovov with the stuff. 5th block for Chicago. Correction, 2nd block for Chicago. Team Freedom has 4. Nice left it short.
And just like that, after a few points of a run, they just serve the ball right into the net and give the ball back to Freedom.
We'll see if Freedom's able to capitalize here. Is Doug Zema to serve. And Zema with the ace. And Nice disgusted with himself there as he slapped the floor. Couldn't believe he got eaten alive by that floater. Better pass by Nice. And Pereshkovov gets the touch.
Now Will Ragland doing a nice job trying to be a little firecracker for his squad. They need some energy on their side and really have to turn it around here. It's 10-10, so they've had a nice start to set number 3, but still with their backs against it. They're down 0-2 here in this match.
Well, I think firecracker is a good word for Ragland because, obviously he can help you offensively, but he also brings just a lot of energy that they need in this one. It goes back to Team Freedom, another kill. Ragland had 13 kills in his season debut against the LA Blaze in a 5-set loss, and had 12 more in the loss to the Tyrants in 5 sets. So he's certainly capable of putting up some nice numbers as Joe Norman continues to chug along.
Yeah, Joe Norman finding the seam in that 3-man block, hammering that ball cross court. Untouchables have to get shoulder to shoulder and get their hands over the net. They want to try to slow down Joe Norman.
Pereshkovov cross court, he loves that angle.
He does. I'd like to see Freedom move their block in a little bit, maybe try to force Pereshkovov to go down the line, change up that preferred hitting angle from the right sider.
That's left short by Pereshkovov. Here is Ian Cap. Hasn't been able to get the serve going yet, but he does here. Bazinga, it's an ace.
Right on cue, Ira. Just take that luck to the casino and see what you can get on the roulette table.
So Ian Cap leaves it short. Here's Ragland serving for the first time. New Jersey up by 1. That'll come over on 1 after the attack by Seif. Norman. Wow, Robinson, right place, right time. Another chance here for Freedom. They go to Ferreter, who tools the block.
And again, the problem continuing for the Untouchables is they can't control the defensive efforts on their side. The ball goes back over the net. Freedom finally getting it done on that third attempt.
Kill number 4 for Ferreter. Here's Matt Seifert to serve. He's got 5 kills and an ace today. Over on 2, Ricchetti tries to dump it. Freedom was ready for it, and Norman got blocked. One-on-one, the solo stuff here by Jacob Estema. As Joe Norman buries his 20th kill. So Ian Cap had 25 kills his last time out. Joe Norman trying to match him here today. Not too often you see 2 players on the same team with each have 20 kill performances this early in the season. But Team Freedom showing they got guys that when they get hot are unstoppable. And the Steel Age Chicago phrase untouchable right now.
They've got weapons, and they're just now coming into form. So
Chicago makes a sub. Peter Namiatko comes in for Pereshkovov. And Will Ragland with a 10-foot line violation, plus it missed wide anyway. And that will take us to a technical timeout here in Game 3. New Jersey looking for the sweep. They lead 16-13. Back here in San Bernardino, where New Jersey's giving the Untouchables a lot to chew on during that break. And Joe Norman will look to continue to serve. And Norman leaves it short. Ricchetti, your server, and he leaves it short. So back-to-back service errors. That favors Freedom. They lead by 3 as Tim Ferreter will serve.
The Untouchables cannot afford to miss any more serves here in this set, or they will be going home.
Ragland with the pass. They go to a zebra, but John Cunningham, haven't said his name a lot because he's done such a great job as the lib for New Jersey. And that is ruled long, and I think Chicago is going to see New Jersey challenge this. Was there a touch? Last time, I believe there was one, and I was proven to be a dum-dum. But we'll see if this time New Jersey does win a challenge. They're 1-1 today. 1 win, 1 losses.
So the challenge here, as I just heard from our down ref, is that Freedom is challenging a net violation on the untouchable blocker.
Ooh, interesting. Plot twist.
There was some net movement at the end of that rally. So it's going to be very interesting to see the outcome of this one.
Well, if the outcome goes to New Jersey, that will be some net gains. as it would push them from instead of a 17-15 lead to 18-14, and a lot more comfortable. You see the Team Freedom looking on as this replay will begin. Thomas Burrell's in the left there, number 18, standing alongside Matt Buffum. They were both big pieces in the middle as New Jersey went 2-0 during our first weekend event of the year in early April. Burrell is still statistically, average-wise, the top-rated blocker in the NVA for this season. There you see Matthew Lee, the head coach for Chicago. Jordan Robinson wearing number 16. A lot of coaches in that shot because standing there with the clipboard is the backup libero, Kai Duquem. So what's interesting, I'll tell you that story in a second, but call was confirmed, no net violation. So Team Freedom, well, 1-2 in challenges today. Not a great winning percentage. They hope it's better on the scoreboard. But Jordan Robinson, I actually work with him as well. He's the head women's volleyball coach at NJCU in New Jersey, where I work as the school's chief communications officer. And Kai Duquem, his teammate here in Chicago, is his assistant coach. Kai moved to New York City last year for a job and wanted to get into coaching, and Jordan brought him aboard as an assistant coach on the women's side. And during the men's season, Kai is coaching with Long Island University Sharks that we talked about earlier. We just started a program this year. So a lot of these relationships have been formed on the court, and then do carry over into the professional world with so many of these guys coaching either as a full-time job or at least as a passion. So after another service error, it's a 2-point game again, 18-16. Here's Zebra Hoyt. Norman running this one down is Neese, but cannot be saved. And another kill for Joe Norman as he continues to just put up scintillating numbers. Over on one, and Ian Cap puts a dent in the floor. And Chicago would like to discuss. If you're the Untouchables right now, you just need one pass to get out of this funk.
Well, the service pressure from Freedom has really been strong here at the business end of set number 3, and really putting a lot of pressure on the Untouchables, overpassing. They're not able to keep it under control, and therefore not allowing themselves to get any good offensive rhythm established here. And now it's very tense moments for the team from Chicago. They'll figure it out really quickly, or else this match will be over before they know it.
Raglan after the serve by Elias. Elias sets up Cap for the cross-court smash. Here's Peter Namiatko off the tape. Cunningham runs it down. Here's Cap. That's blocked back. 21-17 New Jersey. Make it 22. Oh, grossness. Ian Cap just drills it down the line, picking up where Joe Norman left off. Here's Cap, up by 5. The joust at the net, popped up by Norman, and then a one-on-one block. No, I didn't fall through. It becomes a double. And the point over to New Jersey. And Chicago is going to utilize their final timeout here. Down 23-17, New Jersey 2 away from picking up what would actually be our second sweep of the day.
Yeah, quite a big surprise. I was expecting this match to be much more evenly battled out, but really the Untouchables have had a very difficult time passing, and that has resulted in a little struggle on the offensive side for the Untouchables.
Well, Chicago, after playing 2 5-set matches to start the season in our first event of the year, haven't had much of a bite today, and Team Freedom is just taking advantage of them. All facets of the game, and it's not just been Joe Norman. Obviously, we've given a lot of credit to Matt Elias and his ability to run the offense, but Seifert's been involved, Barrett's been involved. Ian Cap is certainly putting up some impressive numbers and getting some big points when they need him. He'll continue to serve. And speaking of bites, by the way, there's a rumor that our partner Nick England is in the building, and his wife has just adopted a brand new puppy. So at some point today, we will have an interview with the new puppy. Just because we can. Amiatko is going to get a kill here as he blasts one from the back row.
There's a big swing that we haven't really seen very much of throughout this match. Hopefully it's not a case of too little too late here for the Untouchables, but credit to Amiatko with that nice swing there.
Amiatko is a New Jersey product of both high school and collegiate sense, so I know him well. And Seifert puts down yet another kill for him, his 6th of this match, to go with 21 for Joe Norman and 9 for Ian Cap. And Matt Seifert has 6 match points as New Jersey looks to go improve to 3-0. That is behind Nice, made something out of nothing. And Zema ends it as Team Freedom New Jersey becomes the 3rd 3-0 team in the NVA, winning the final set 25-18 decisively. And a pretty impressive performance today all around. 25-19, 25-20, and 25-18. Just a tremendous offensive performance by Team Freedom here today. And Matt is going to have a conversation with our man of the match. And while it could be Joe Norman with 21 kills in this one, we have decided that the man of the match needs to be Matt Seifert, because his ability to run this offense cleanly today, as I look at the final numbers, that's why Joe Norman was able to be as effective as he was. Norman finishing with 21 kills, along with a block and an ace. So 23 total points that Joe Norman helped manufacture. Ian Cap produced 11 points, 9 kills, and 2 blocks. As we look at the rest of the numbers, Matt Seifert with 6 kills and 1 ace as well. Those were our leading scorers today as I was looking live at the numbers here on the screen. But for New Jersey, 3-0, they continue to be a team that I think maybe might be even exceeding expectations. They started off strong last year where they were 5-0, and then due to injuries and missing players and players who had some flight difficulties, quite frankly, coming cross country, there were players who had their flights canceled, and well, that point becomes next man up, and just wasn't enough man up for New Jersey last year as they bowed out in the quarterfinals. And we'll see as this year goes along if they continue to evolve as a team to look out for here in the NVA throughout this season. So we're going to send it over courtside where Matt Prosser's with our man of the match, Freedom setter, Matt Elias.
Okay, here we are. I'm Matt Prosser. This is Matt Elias, MVP of the match there. Matt, congratulations. Nice work today.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
So tell me about the mindset coming into this match and how'd you guys prepare for that one?
Yeah, mindset coming in. We're pretty familiar with that entire Untouchables team. A lot of our friends, we train with those guys. Trying to put that aside, focus on our task at hand, playing good volleyball.
Yeah. You guys played really well, obviously. Good effort through the middle. Your opposite hitter, Joe Norman, had 21 kills. So tell me about that kind of connection you have with him there.
Yeah, we really liked Joe's matchup. He was swinging high. We were in system a lot of the match, so Joe exploited that. We did what we needed to do.
So what is it like to have 3 blockers across the front row when Paul Balanza comes in 7 feet tall, 6'9", and 6'10"?
It's hilarious. You can't see who's serve receiving. You just got to put the ball in play. It's a blessing for us. We got a lot of size. Yeah. What we didn't do is transition a ball in that scenario, and that's where it would get a little tricky.
Yeah, you did not get to transition, but interesting strategy. So tomorrow you got a nice match against the Dallas Tornadoes. Explain to me sort of what the game plan is for that one.
Yeah, we're going to go back, watch a little bit of film. I think they have a different roster from last year, a couple guys that are new. Felix is playing on the right side, so that's something that we need to keep in mind. Other than that, rest and recovery for us. We don't got a lot of backups this weekend, so take care of our bodies, and we'll be ready to go tomorrow.
Well, this was your first match of the 2022 NVA season, and you get to take home the MVP honor. So congratulations, Matt, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. Back to you, Ira.
Well, thank you, Matt, who was talking to Matt, our man of the match. Matt Square to close us out here on match number 2. And we have a lot more volleyball set to come today, but, of course, with the win for New Jersey, this sets up a matchup tomorrow where New Jersey at 3-0 will take on 2-1 the Dallas Tornadoes. But meanwhile, Chicago now falling to 0-3 on the year tomorrow. Somebody's got to win as they will take on the Inland Empire Matadors, who are also 0-3 on the year. Our schedule for the rest of today, our 3 p.m. Pacific time matchup. Can't miss this one, as Nick England and his brand new puppy will join Matt Prosser and bring you the Las Vegas Ramblers, the Texas Tyrants. Both teams are 3-0. Somebody is going to remain unbeaten on the year. And then I'll be back with you at 6 p.m. Pacific when the Utah Stingers, 2-1 on the year, will take on the defending champion but struggling OC Stunners. They are 1-2 on the season. So that'll do it here. Match number 2 on our second day of our second weekend. A lot of 2s involved here in the action in the NVA as New Jersey improves to 3-0 on the year, decisively beating Chicago 3-0. For my partner Matt Prosser and our entire crew, I'm Ira Thor. Please rejoin us at 3 p.m. Pacific for our match of the day, the Tyrants and the Ramblers. Until then, be well, everybody.